I'm just sitting outside, some thoughts, Um, as I look at the world around us, I think we're all in a mode where we maybe feel a little exhausted at times, or feel like if we're not moving or in some type of motion that we're missing out on things. Um, and I think that that's by design. I think that if we step back and take a deep breath and we ask ourselves, what is our technology doing for us to serve us as humans, not us as, say, products or just productivity machines? I think we'd be surprised by the answer, and I'd encourage you to do that. When you find yourself caught up in something, specifically on your phone or on social media, ask yourself, what purpose is this serving? Is this helping me? Is this making me feel good about myself? Is this producing something useful for someone else? And see where that takes you. Because I think that while, unlike maybe the pioneers or the entrepreneurs of the past who built tangible things, there's a lot in our modern world that's been heavily invested in that really is ultimately not producing very much. At least I would say that. And then maybe you ask that to yourself. And that really the FOMO sort of aspect of everything is by design, because the product actually is just that, right? It's just your attention span. It's just your fear of missing out. That if you don't participate, that um, you're going to be left alone. And I think I would argue that it's possibly the opposite. And you should ask yourself that. You should answer that question for yourself, because these things are asking us to constantly participate. But if we take a step back, what is actually being produced? And there's an incredible amount of power and freedom in that, right? The power comes from the fact that you realize that there's entire enterprises that sometimes feel overwhelming that we have complete control over if we just put the devices down or uninstall apps or stop looking, because they rely on that. That's the only product there is everybody's sort of anxiety in a way. And I learned that the hard way. I come from a generation that predated the modern internet. It was kind of part of the building out of the original internet, and it's what we have today is very different. And I think that it's all designed to wrap us up so much that we don't notice that we don't need most of it. Like, convenience is not an actual product, right? It's not to say that it has no place. I'm not saying be a Luddite, but truly ask yourself, like, what am I trading off for convenience? Um, and I think a lot of times the convenience is sort of detrimental to us, right? Because we're cutting process out of everything. Like, life is between the lines. The lines are the products. The life is between them, right? Um, and when you cut process and when you cut everything out for the sake of convenience, you're left with nothing but product. And I think that only makes us worse off.